All right. Good evening, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it again. It's your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. And tonight's episode, we are talking about recognizing when you're winning. Recognize when you're winning. All right, Mr. Brandon Hicks, you are indeed first. Same as always and stuff, as you guys come in here, give me an audio check, let me know everything is coming through okay. All right, salute to you, Mr. Hicks. Hope that everything and stuff is fine and wonderful. Again, we are recognizing when you are winning, because a lot of times in this industry and stuff, we've been so used to, we're in an industry where negativity runs rampant. So when it runs rampant, okay, all right, thanks, Mr. Hicks. All right, Mr. Sunwater Flow, Mr. Sunwater Flow, welcome. The industry is so filled with negativity that we can't recognize and stuff, man, when we're actually winning. You see, a learning process, when you're in a learning process and stuff, we feel as though we're losing, because it's certain things and stuff that we feel we should know when you don't. You see, there's no classes that you can go to that can give you all the one-on-ones and stuff. I mean, the best that we can hope to do is disseminating information amongst one another and stuff, social media, like, well, okay, I want to be a company driver. I want to get into a lease. I want to be an own operator. I want to get my own authority. Everything that's around trucking. There's no university that you can go to other than just learning how to drive the truck itself and stuff. But other than that, the real knowledge and science is based upon experience and stuff. And so, when you're getting into an industry, into a business setting where, like Chase and Andrews would say, the suit and tie guys, when they understand the basic and advanced fundamentals of business, and then we're getting into it and stuff, we have to learn these things, and it takes a long time, before we figure it out. We're in an industry where everywhere you go and stuff, it's always about the drivers. We're hiring over here and we're doing this over here and stuff. Everywhere you go, truck stops, or if you look at a truck and stuff, we're hiring. We're always hiring and stuff like that. And so, over here, we treat our drivers with respect and dignity. Winning out here on the spot market. See, that's trucking with a purpose. Okay, so see, that's the thing there. As long as you can recognize when you're winning, as long as you can recognize that and stuff, because a lot of times like I said, the industry again is just so full of negativity, is that we can't even recognize when we're ahead of the game, when we're winning, because we're so, like I said, this industry is just so saturated with negativity. It's always, we don't have to go into detail and stuff. You just look anywhere and stuff. Petty beefs and stuff are started and stuff like that because of, just any little thing. It's just any little thing and stuff. And so, again, just recognize when you're winning. I was having a conversation with a guy. And stuff. And so, he was, based upon what he was telling me and what he showed me and stuff, he's in a winning position. He's in a winning position and stuff. It's just, he doesn't really recognize, he just not recognizing the fact that he's in that winning position and stuff. It's like, we were talking about trucks and stuff like that. he done his thing and stuff. He got a basic understanding of how things and stuff are working. And so, now he's in a position to where, he can either keep the truck that he has or go out here and purchase him another truck and stuff. And so I'm like, well, now that you got the capital necessary, right? You got the capital necessary and you got the mindset, then you have to make a decision as to whether you want to stay in the truck or whether you want to get something better. And so his capital, and that's what I had to keep reminding him, is that his capital, because it's there and it's solid, it puts him in a very winning position as to what he wants to do and stuff. And so, he has a truck. And stuff. And so, it's one of those lease to own deals and stuff like that. So you see, it's just like going to errands and what's that, Rent-A-Center and all these other places there and stuff. Now, when you're in a particular situation and your credit or your capital and stuff might not be in the best of shape, but you need things right now to keep things going and stuff. So, I'll go ahead and I'll get the furniture and stuff at 50% interest. But you see, I'm getting it not to get comfortable, but to get what I need and stuff to move to the next level. And so now, when people get to those positions to where it's now time to move to the next level, we get comfortable. We get comfortable. A lot of guys and stuff are, you're you may be a company driver and it might be time and stuff for you. You see, you're going to get the IKEA. Okay, I don't really know what that means and stuff, but okay. But it just, no matter what position you're in, if you're a company driver and an opportunity and stuff, an opportunity may be available to you and stuff like that, but because you got comfortable in one position, it's not to say that you're going up there and stuff and they're gonna offer it to you, but that you qualify. But because of a person being comfortable in their position, they just let that position and stuff just slide on by and stuff. Same thing, when you're in a lease, and stuff. And let me understand, let me put this out here to be clear, right, about this lease thing. If you have a lease truck, right, you're an own operator. You're own operator and stuff. That's what it is. If you're in a lease program or whatever, you're an own operator. What you're doing in that lease is that someone else is supplying the tool that you need in order to do the job, because you can either go get the tool yourself or somebody's supplying it for you and stuff. So either way, if you're going to a bank, you got to finance the tool. If you get into a lease program, you have to finance the tool and stuff. Now, what sets it apart is that the people that are loaning you the tools set the rules. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you go to AutoZone, or if you go to AutoZone or Advanced Auto and stuff like that, they'll loan you a tool, but the tool is for you to go over here and take care of what you need to take care of and bring the tool back. Well, it's the same thing with the equipment. It's like, it's a tool to go out here and make money, but what they're saying is that they got set-asides already set up for you to go out here and make money for them, and not so much. And if you can somehow make money for yourself in the midst of making money for them, then okay. But you're still an own operator because of the responsibilities. Because when those responsibilities and stuff come up, they're going to remind you that you're an own operator. You see, when your truck start breaking down, you see what I'm saying? When you got to purchase fuel and all these other things and stuff that cost money, they're gonna remind you very quickly that you're an own operator. You see what I'm saying? If your pay gets messed up, they'll let you know, okay, well, listen, if ordinarily you're supposed to be waiting, 30 to 90 days, and then they'll go talk about, well, you need to have this amount of money saved up and stuff for your business and so on and so forth. They'll remind you very quickly They'll remind you very quickly, of your responsibilities and putting you in the position of own operator. Now, again, depends on where you get your tools from, is what's going to determine what you can do. And so, ultimately you want to be in total and complete control and stuff. So you're moving yourself into a winning position. You're moving yourself into a winning position. It may seem like, okay, well, I got to go into this lease program and stuff like that. Like I said, we are, for the most part, first generation legacy builders, which means that nothing was left for you. You had to build these things for yourself. You see, you had to it's taking you to have to build up the capital necessary for you to go into business. Nobody, there was no somebody invested, or I ain't gonna say, well, yeah, you had investment, or you had a inheritance that was left to you. There was none of that. So you see, you're the first generation legacy builder and stuff. That's why I tell people, like, a real good movie to watch, and stuff, man, is There Will Be Blood. That movie, There Will Be Blood and stuff. I mean, if you look at it from a business aspect, man, I mean, you'll rather enjoy the movie and stuff, and you'll get a lot of gems and stuff that's in there. So, you're starting out from nothing. You're starting out from nothing and stuff. And so you got to understand is that as you move into winning positions, you got a lot of people out here that are perpetrating a fraud, right? Saying that, well, okay, what's the word I'm looking for? The word I'm looking for is the representation of a winner. The representation of a winner and stuff is like having these trophies, and stuff like that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having nice stuff. But that's not the total and complete representation of what a winner is. So you see, we get caught up in stuff and all the trinkets or whatever and stuff, and then, we think that's a representation of success, and so we go chasing these things, and meanwhile, you go lacking on other things and stuff, and that's how people wind up losing everything. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having nicer things in life, but just understand that's not the say all and be all and stuff, because we know plenty of millionaires out here. We could spot a millionaire all day long, but when it comes to your billionaires, you don't know who they are. You see, we don't speak so much as the CEOs of the businesses, that have net worths of billions of dollars and stuff. Like I said, all the millionaires all day long and stuff. But how do we recognize the millionaires? Because of the things that's supposed to be a representation of success. And that's what we look at, MTV Cribs, MTV Cribs and stuff. When you look at the magazines and the article ads and all the other stuff there, you got millionaires that are supposed to be they're in these positions of success, right? And they have the representation of success. Okay, get this particular car, wear these particular clothes, drink this particular food and drink and so on and so forth and stuff. But again, what about the billionaires? Them are the people that we need to see. You see what I'm saying? Because they're a representation of success. Because, yeah, we might know people like, your Jeff Bezos, but, Jeff Bezos doesn't put himself out there publicly like that. He may make some appearances, as far as like think tanks and stuff like that. But as far as like representation of like how the millionaires and stuff are, like, what kind of car does Jeff Bezos have? What is he driving and stuff? Do you see him up here flashing? Do you see him up here flashing all this stuff there? But again, these are the people right here that are the representation of success and wealth, because they have these things. So I'm saying, who do you want to listen to? The millionaire, or do you want to listen to the billionaire? So you see, when we talk about the billionaires and stuff, you got to Google these men and women to know who they are and stuff like that. And you know their lives and stuff is not always, their lives pretty much aren't publicized. Their lives pretty much aren't publicized and stuff. And so you know, um, that should say a lot right there. That should say a lot right there and stuff. And so you know, recognize the winners and recognize when you're winning. You know, because you don't have to post everything up and stuff all the time to say, well, you know, hey, I'm winning. You know, I'm winning because I'm doing this, that, or whatever and stuff. Because, you know, ultimately and stuff, that leads to, it leads to conflict with other people who say that, well, okay, your representation of success and stuff like that, that ain't what it is and stuff. I got the representation over here and stuff. And so, you know, this is where the petty beefs and stuff and the competition thing and stuff, this is where that happens. But you see, again, when you look at the millionaires, when you look at the billionaires and stuff like that, they're working together. Even though they understand it's competition, they're working together to make sure that they stay wealthy in all areas of activity and stuff when you look at it. So, you know, again, when you look at the trucking industry, you see when you know, you look at companies like Heartland and Raven, you see it was a time where Raven was kind of overwhelmed. You know, they had a real large freight capacity and stuff. You know, they had so many people that wanted to work for Raven. You know, but Raven was a high class company and stuff at once upon a time. You know, you had to have 5 years experience and stuff, but they had the best contracts. And so they got so overwhelmed with the contracts that they had to garner help from Heartland Express. And so, you know, they supposed to be in competition trying to get this contract and stuff like that, but they work together. You see, they work together and stuff, you know. So when you look at the history of trucking, you know, you understand Swift, CR England, Pride, Knights. You know, it's no coincidence that they merged together and stuff because, you know, if you look at their origin and stuff and how they got things started. So each one of these CEOs in the business and stuff are billionaires. They're not millionaires now, billionaires. Billions of dollars and stuff that's in that transportation field. But they know that when one is in trouble, hey, they'll help the other one out and stuff, you know. When you know, when Dick Simon was in trouble, you know, Swift picked up the bag and stuff like that. And so, you know, Dick Simon is back in business again under another name, you know, if you can recognize, if you know the company and stuff like that, you know. But like I said, it's so many companies and stuff that's out here, but when they ran into trouble, is that they know how to merge together and stuff to make sure, okay, you know what, yeah, you may have to close down that sector of your business and stuff like that, but everything else is going to keep going. You know, we're going to be merged in here, but we know how to separate my profit from your profit and stuff and make sure that you're still making money. And we're going to be making money overall. And then, you know, if you want to leave and do your own thing and stuff, then you do it. Then up pops this company out of nowhere, you know. And that's all that is there and stuff. So, you know, see, they're always winning. They're always winning and stuff. And so, you know, that's the things that we don't pick up on, we don't recognize. So that's why we're out here being individuals. We're out here being individuals when we need to recognize and stuff when you're winning. You know, you got a company over here, you got a company over here, you got a company over here, you got a company over here. There are 3 companies. You know, each one of you talk to each other and stuff like that, and we're all in the same field of business. But you see, you got an operation cost, I got one, and the third person had theirs too and stuff. And so they saying, well, you know, it's not like we're going to be bumping heads because you may be on the West Coast, I'm over here on the East Coast, and then our third person is right there in the Midwest. And so we see the operational costs and stuff that's going to be coming down the scene. So what do we do in order to preserve, you know, in order to make a profit and continue on with the profit? We know how to communicate, stuff like that. You might have business. I might have business that's going your way. You have business that's coming my way. So we all merge and stuff, man, and be under one umbrella. We be under one umbrella and stuff, you know, like your U.S. Express and your Covenants. U.S. Express and Covenant. They're brothers. You know, you got one on the east side of Chattanooga. You got one on the west side of Chattanooga. But you know, look at all the other companies and stuff that's under their umbrella. You know, with U.S. Express, you got Abilene, you got Smith Transport, you had Arnold Transportation, you had CNC Trucking. You see, these companies right here and stuff that came under the umbrella of U.S. Express and stuff. So they say, well, there's no point in me trying to get insurance, right? I can go under insurance and stuff of U.S. Express. I can use U.S. Express purchasing power and stuff, as opposed to me trying to build my credit up where I may have a couple million, but you know, you have this established mega carrier stuff that has billions of dollars and stuff in stock into these businesses and stuff, right, of equipment that I'm trying to acquisition. You know, well, hey, they got stocks in Freightliner and Volvo and stuff. They have stocks in Waybash Trailers and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not so much as to say I need the money up front. They say, hey, just go over there, pick out your trailer, do your business, and then we'll collect the money later on and stuff when you start making a profit. So you see, when you got the opportunity to do that and stuff, you're in a winning position because you don't have to have your stuff up front. You just have to make sure that the business plan that you have and stuff is set into motion, and that is something solid that can be done. You know, the capital and stuff like that came with the merger. They saying, well, don't worry about the capital right now. We got you. You know, if your trucks break down and stuff like that, we got you. Trucks and trailers. You got brand new trucks, brand new trailers, you know, with warranty and stuff like that. And then they saying, well, okay, we might not recognize you and stuff because your company is not as small. You know, your company not as large as the umbrella that you're under. So you see, you know, when a Smith Transport truck or an Abilene truck and stuff shows up at the Freightliner, okay. But see, when you going in there and stuff, and then they understand that U.S. Express is the one that's going to be footing the bill, okay, wait a minute. Hey, we're talking about a company that has stock in this business. So you see, our priority is to make sure and stuff, you know, that our stockholders and stuff are happy too. You know, otherwise that, you know, things are going to happen. Heads are going to roll. People are going to be transferred or terminated or whatever and stuff. So, you know, you got to be stepping with the best foot forward. But see, when you have that type of protection there, you don't have to worry about your truck going into the shop and then going in there for the same thing over and over again and stuff like that. It's no beating you out of money. We got to get it right, and we got to get it right the first time. You see, if we're going to be keeping a job and stuff and so on and so forth, we got to keep our shareholders happy. That's what it means to have that umbrella and stuff. Recognize when you're winning, you know. But our representation of winning is that we're on an individual standpoint and stuff. And so as good as it is, right, you can't go up against somebody that's organized. One truck, one trailer, and they're over here and stuff, man, with 14,000 trucks, 14,000 trailers. You see, so it's not even about quality. It's not even about quality anymore. When they have a quantity, you see, you have a better chance of stuff of picking a quality out of there and stuff. Well, you know, you got 14,000 trucks. And so out of that 14,000, you can afford to have 12 or 13 bad drivers before you get one good one. You see what I'm saying? As long as they're going with the basic premise of what it means to make a profit for the company, you know. So they say, well, yeah, they know trucks they're gonna have accidents. They're gonna have guys that do a lot of idling and stuff like that. They're gonna have a lot of guys and stuff that's not going by the protocol and stuff in order to, you know, protocols and stuff to improve the efficiency of the truck, you know, fuel efficiency and all that stuff there. Hey, just get in and drive and stuff like that. Go pick up the load. We'll worry about all this other stuff, you know. That's why the truck and stuff is set at a certain mile per hour. So people will then come out here with this pseudoscience and stuff and talk about, well, with the truck being turned down and stuff like that, you lose all this horsepower. You know, you lose all this horsepower, like horsepower is necessary now. You know, when horsepower was a thing of the past, you know, they understand, okay, your truck has a certain sweet spot or whatever. Oh, well, the horsepower was turned down because the horsepower was turned. That's why the truck is doing this, that, or whatever. but there's no science to prove that. It's just people out here that's saying it. But you see, these mega carriers and stuff, as long, as much as people talk about them or whatever, you don't see their trucks and stuff just breaking down and stuff, one after another, after another, after another. It's, just broke down over here on the side of the highway. Yeah, they do break down, but you see, they have a basic premise and stuff that they go by, a basic formula that they go by and stuff to say, well, all right, if the drivers would look at it from a business perspective, right, they can maximize and stuff the use of the equipment. But they know people not going to get that understanding there, because when you're in that position of understanding the equipment, then what you're going to start doing, you're going to say, well, hey, I want to go into business for myself. When you understand that, okay, my truck is getting 7 miles to the gallon. I know how to get this truck right here. I'm a company driver. Getting my truck at 7 miles to the gallon, 7.5, 8 miles to the gallon. When you understand that science there and stuff, you're breaking into the aspects of business. So you're saying, well, shoot, hey, I can do this for myself. When you're understanding fuel costs and maintenance costs and stuff, and the understanding taking this route versus this route, how much money and stuff is going to be involved in it, so on and so forth. Now you're getting into the business aspect of things. So, not long after, you're going to be saying, well, shoot, hey, let me go on out here and get some equipment for myself, because if I understand these things, then I understand, traveling lanes and so on and so forth. So you get into that. But like I said, there's no college that you can go to get all this knowledge and stuff and say, okay, all right, put it into practice. This is what you got to learn while you're in this job. But the great thing about this job is that you have the opportunity to say, well, I can be an owner. I can do this for myself. I can open up my own business and stuff. I can buy I can buy a fleet of trucks and stuff and so on and so forth. Once I understand, the financial literacy of things, business literacy, understanding the road, so on and so forth and stuff, and see, that knowledge and stuff is also passed down and stuff to the family, because, if you look at any of these guys now that own these trucking companies, none of them know how to drive a truck, and they're not going to drive it. You put the truck in front of them, they like, yeah, hey, just make sure it's red or blue and make sure that it has this type of decal and stuff or whatever. But, as far as like getting in and driving, no, they're not doing all that. It's a man, shoot, that's what I got drivers out here for, That's why I got you guys out here for and stuff. My money is going to work for me and stuff, and y'all bring me the final report about what's going on with the business. That's why I hire you guys. You see? So, it's pretty deep and stuff, but this is where, if you're trying to be on a winning team, right? If you're trying to be on a winning team and stuff, then, that's the information that you have to go after and stuff, because, I mean, is it really about going after another person and saying, is it really about going after another person because they're posting some things and stuff like that and you might not like it? Is it really about that and stuff, or is it about understanding the fact and stuff that, well, you know what, hey, they have a right they have a right to post what they want, because the thing is that this particular thing that they're talking about is working for them. And so when something works for you and you're being successful at it, then what you want to do is you want to take that information and pass it on to others, to hope not to follow the exact same thing that person done, but to take what information that you can and stuff and apply it. Because, at one point you have no information. And so now you have some information to go by. You have some information to go by and stuff. So you have a basic idea. And so now that's where you put your own spin on it, because you may have the other piece. You may have the other piece of the plan, which is not making sense at the time. But then, by a person explaining that basic formula about this particular business and stuff, that's when you can combine it together and do what you need to do. You henceforth and stuff, and, you make things and stuff great for you. But, you got to understand is that, I mean, when a person does something, right? When a person does something, if they recommend certain things and stuff like that, it's great when things work for them, when a plan comes together. And so, they're going to, for the most part, put the information out there and say, hey, man, listen, You know, I did this, and because of me doing this, now I own a truck. Now I got this amount of capital and stuff. You know, I have real business capital. I have this amount in my bank account and stuff, and so on and so forth. And so I want to share this information and stuff with you, but it ain't to say all to be all. It's just take it for what it is. Take the information for what it is. You know, and if you can use it, use it. But if you can't, okay, that's all right. But, you know, you keep it moving either way and stuff. You know, you just don't sit there and be fixated on the person, especially if the information is not helpful, right? You don't waste your time and stuff with the back and forth and everything, because when you're in the aspect of business, when you're in position of business, you know everything is about forward moving. You ain't got time to be sitting there just, hey, I'm going to sit still here and stuff and do all this back and forth, because time is money. Time is money and stuff. And the thing is that we have plenty of everything in this world, but one thing that you're not going to have enough of is time. That's the reality and stuff. And so, you know, understanding that premise there, that's when we know, okay, well, look, it's not really worth it. You know, the back and forth and stuff, okay. If you want to be entertained by it, okay. Recognize that you want to be entertained by it, and then, you know, that's your thing. Again, nothing wrong with it, as long as you're truthful with yourself. But don't try to take a information a entertaining position and then think that it's based upon information. You know, be truthful with yourself and stuff. I mean, you know, cause you ain't, you know, you can say whatever, you can do whatever, but just don't lie to yourself and start believing in that lie and stuff. You know, that's when you get caught up. You know, that's when you get caught up and stuff and start doing things foolishly and stuff. And so, you know, the other thing about understanding when you are winning, recognizing when you're winning, is that you got to recognize that, hey, listen, I'm going to have to take some L's out here in this business. I'm going to have to take some L's and stuff. Why? Because there are some things that I have never done before. There's some things and stuff that, you know, even if a person give me the whole breakdown, if they give me the whole one-on-one and stuff, the only way that I'm truly going to understand it is through learning. It's through our actual hands-on experience. So, and so, you know, that's what it is that you got to understand, okay, in order for you to be a winner, sometimes you got to understand, look, I'm going to take a few L's out here. I ain't saying that your whole premise is not about taking L's, but understand you're going to have to take some L's and stuff out here, because that's what business consists of. Is that everybody out here in the world of business is not good people. You know, it's not good people. You know, if we draw a picture of what the business world is like, you know, we'd be a bunch of pirates. You know, a bunch of pirates and sharks and stuff, you know, with swords and guns and, you know, trying to cut each other throat and stuff at every corner. You know, oh man, this person is trying to backstab me. But that's the premise, that's the aspect of business. And so knowing this, you know that, hey, you're gonna have to take a few bumps and bruises. You know, you might get stabbed in your back. But the thing is that, you know, recognize the stuff when someone and stuff is trying to set you up. I mean, they're not going to be open and say, hey, man, I'm setting you up. I'm going to stab you in the back as soon as you do this, that, or whatever. You know, you got to recognize, that's why I call it the trucking game. Because that's what it is. You know, sometimes and stuff, you know, a lot of times you gotta kind of set certain traps and stuff around you. Some of the traps. All right. Okay, we back live. So, sorry about that interruption. So, let's see. You know, that's just the name. That's just the name of the game and stuff. Is that, you know, we know that business is very cutthroat, right? We know that. So you can't just go out here all trusting and all willy-nilly and innocent and stuff like that. You know, you got to go protect it. You see what I'm saying? Like when you go out here and walk out here in these streets and stuff, I ain't saying that you got to make it obvious like you the biggest, baddest thing out there, you know, and you got to have all the recognition of the street to say, well, you know what, hey, I'm the biggest, baddest thing out there. But just go with protection and understand, you know, when something is not right, you know, when something is not right and stuff, you know, protect yourself. And so, you know, again, business and stuff is no business again is no different. You know, you set traps. You know, what I do and stuff, you know, how I set traps and stuff is based upon conversation. You know, certain conversations, certain things and stuff that I throw out there. So, you know, some people can recognize it right off the rip and they understand that and stuff. And then some people can't recognize it, but, you know, they go in with the intent of trying to say, well, yeah, I'm gonna try to sabotage and stuff, you know, like, well, how do you feel about this? How you feel about this certain person and stuff, you know, in your business place, right? The people you're doing business with. How do you feel about them personally? You know, tell me how you feel about them personally and stuff like that. You see, that's a trap right there. You know, if this person is making you money, then that's what it is. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with anything personal. You know, it's all business. And so when it's all business, you see, well, I don't have any kind of emotional stake to talk about and stuff. You know, hey, look, when I'm making money, okay. When I'm not making money and stuff, then they're not very much use. But see, they recognize that too and stuff in the business field. You know, it's not about emotion. It's not about emotion and stuff like that. Even though I know, you know, when you feel as though you're in a losing position, that's kind of a good fallback to say, well, damn, you know what? We are people of emotion, right? But emotion has no place in business. And so, you know, you got to pick yourself up and say, well, daggone, that was a messed up deal. You know, cause shoot, I run into messed up deals and stuff all the time. I mean, you know, hey, take the people I'm least on with. You know, the people I'm least on with and stuff. Like I said, I mean, I could tell you so many stories and stuff about them, but you know, on a business aspect of things, like I said, I gotta recognize, like, well, hey, I got charged. You know, I made a delivery. You know, I was making a delivery and stuff, and so, you know, they charged me $500 for being late. You know, I was late for 10. You know, I was 10 minutes late. The customer didn't have no problem. Nobody else had a problem, but the dispatcher had a problem. So they charged me $500. You know, so yeah, I got yeah, I got upset. Yeah, I got upset and everything and stuff. But you know, I didn't get on the phone and stuff and start expressing my frustration towards that dispatcher. What I said is that, hey, you know, I got to play the game just like them. I got to play the game just like them and stuff. So, you know, what I do to get my money back, when they start, you know, they book that load and stuff like that. Hey, man, listen, I understand, you know, I got this load right here and stuff, but, hey, I'm gonna need $150 on this one. I'm gonna need $150 extra on this one. I'm gonna need $200 extra on this one. I'm gonna need $50, $75 until I get my $500 back. You see what I'm saying? I got to play the game just like them. So you see, it's not. So yeah, they profited stuff at that particular juncture there and stuff. But you know, you get your money back piece by piece. You see, you recognize that. Well, hey, listen, when they're in a certain position, you don't sit there and do an eye for an eye right then. You know, you play the game just like them. You know, so you know, you don't make all your stuff obvious. You know, if you don't like a person or whatever, you don't make that obvious. I don't like this person. Why you don't like him? Because, you know, the only thing that you should be doing in a place of business, in the world of business, is speaking about business things. And so if you're not speaking about business things, then I can understand not liking them as far as like, hey, look, I'm on here trying to take care of business and they're over here talking about other stuff. Yeah, then you're justified. But you see, if they're talking about business and you don't like some of the business that's being thrown out there, okay. But you see, in the world of business, the most successful people are the ones are doing and taking the jobs and stuff that a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of stuff that people don't want to do and stuff, but you know, that sharpens the mind and stuff, and makes you, you know, you begin to you begin to engineer things and stuff inside the things that you're not liking to a point to where you're in control of it. You understand, okay, people not liking to do this particular thing here, right? And I'm always tasked with the duty and stuff of taking care of this particular task, okay? So you engineer what you have to do and stuff inside this field to a point to where you got a total monopoly of it because you see it's necessary to get done. You see it's necessary to get done. You see that it's money that's in it. And so, you just make a monopoly of it to a point to where, okay, all right, nobody else is doing it except me. So now I got a lock on it. When you got that lock on it, you got the contract. You got the contract, now people are dealing with you and they're dealing with you exclusively. Like I said, hey, I hate running the Northeast. I hate running New York. But you know what? When they call me about those New York runs and stuff like that, I mean, heck, one New York run can make my whole week. One New York run can make my whole week and stuff. And so I'm like, well, shoot, as much as I hate going over there, a lot of people don't like going over there. But, when those loads and stuff come up, first one they call on and stuff, hey, Rooster, hey, we got one going over here to this place you don't like. Okay. Then I get to know the people and stuff that's over there. Once I get to know the people that's over there, understand the schedules and stuff like that, and understand how they order certain things, then the last thing is to get a hold of that traffic manager. And once I get a hold of the traffic manager, I didn't get a phone call. I guess I'm back live now. I didn't get a phone call all day long and stuff. And I finally go live. And now the phone calls happen. So, hey, listen, we're going to pick up on this conversation tomorrow and stuff. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, of recognizing when you're winning. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the feed and stuff here. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, you have been with the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. I appreciate your time and your energy, and I hope that your time and energy that you spent here will help you make plenty of resource. So I leave you as always telling you, it's your man here. Continue to do your own research, fact-finding studies. Harness on your skills daily. Until next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy, peace out.